Brother Nashi, please keep my identity private because I am a professional. I do have a nice job. I do not want to mess up at my workplace, but for you to understand where I am coming from, I will tell you where I am working, but please do not mention the name of the province where I am staying. I'm a 32-year-old woman who is working at a bank. I'll say it is Capitec. And if my colleagues saw this confession, I don't know what will happen to me if you were to post even my name. As you can see on my profile, I could not create a ghost account, so I just said, whilst I'm at work, let me just record my confession for you. The things that I have seen at night, the spiritual stuff that happens in my bedroom at night, if you were to see the same things that I do witness in some nights, you will never be the same. Even the people that know me, the people that I go to church with, if they see what I see in my bedroom, they would never look at me the same. They will be afraid of me and say that I practice witchcraft, because hey, for us to make money, we have to practice a little bit of witchcraft. The economy, it is very bad, and you need to have a lot of spiritual help if you want to make it in South Africa. My story starts, it was in the year 2018. At that time, I was drowning in debt. I was a young banker, I'll say, in Johannesburg, and I was surrounded by people that just wanted to date me because I was beautiful. I was broke, and I would date a guy. Instead of that man appreciating me, giving me money, the guy that I'll be dating will only be interested in sleeping with me after we would have slept with each other. Then it will be done. I don't know what was going on in my life. I would have men that will say to me, "You're so beautiful. I want to marry you. You don't deserve to be working like this. You deserve to be indoors at all the times, just enjoying giving me kids, and I will give you all the money that you want." But instead of those guys being serious after we would have slept with each other, they will just change and pretend as if I am not even their girlfriend. It was as if these boys, after I would have slept with them, they'll be like, "This one, she does not taste nice," because I could not understand how was it even possible that someone will say that you're beautiful, but after sleeping with you, then they turn a blind eye on you and pretend as if you do not even exist at all in their world. So that was what I was experiencing at that time, and I had debt, and this debt, some of it came from the student loan, credit card, and I was the breadwinner in the family, and my family looked at me as if I was a human ATM. Things got bad when I dated a guy that was from outside of the country, because in my life I have had several guys that are from outside of the country. So this man, he just asked me to borrow money because he wanted us to buy a car, and after we would have bought that car, we were going to start doing Uber with it. And I said, okay, it's fine. Since he was Nigerian, he said that he knew other guys that were Nigerians that were doing panel beating. So we bought a car, then we went with it to the friends who were the Nigerians that were doing panel beating to fix the car. I was using money, using my credit card, and I had maxed it out. And when we went there to fix the vehicle, the guy then ended up scamming me, changing the papers of the car, and it was a mess. I tried to fight with him, and he threatened to use his juju on me. So I was broke. I was always just asking for money from different men, and maybe this was what made men not to like me, because once I date you, I'll start to tell you all of my problems, not because I was a gold digger, but because I really needed money. I was desperate for money. So once I would have asked for a guy to give me money, then that guy will start to make a lot of excuses. Then the next thing, I can't reach him anymore, and then he would tell me that we are done. By then the guy would have already slept with me. So I was not going anywhere. I was just struggling in life. Then on the night when it happened, I still remember that it was on a Saturday. I was sitting in my apartment in the dark with my son. My prepared electricity had run out, and I did not even have 50 rand to buy a few units and see what I will do. The next day there was a guy that had said, you can come to my place and then we sleep together, then I give you the money that you want. I then went on Tinder, because some of the boys, I would meet them on Tinder. I was on Tinder on that day. There was no one really that was talking to me. I was just swiping just to distract myself from what I was thinking, and I was hungry. We did not have a nice meal. We just ate bread, and it was just dry bread. There was nothing else that I could give to my child. Then I matched with a Zimbabwean guy who was lucky enough to be online because I was bored, and then we started to talk. I did not know that this conversation, it was going to lead into marriage, because he did not even have a flashy profile, no pictures like of him showing that he is someone that is financially stable. It was just him in front of a workshop, and I said, okay, he is a working man, maybe he might assist me to buy electricity, and then I block him afterwards. We started chatting. He asked me what I was doing. I was honest, and I said, I'm just sitting here in the dark waiting for payday because my units are finished. Most guys on Tinder would have asked for a nude photo in exchange for a favor, or started a sexual chat, but this guy was different. He asked for my meter number. 2 minutes later, I got a notification, 1,000 electricity tokens purchased. I sat there in shock when I saw this message as I went and I put on, and the lights came back on. 1,000 rands that he had purchased. He did not ask for a video call. He did not ask for a nude photo. When we started to speak on WhatsApp, he just sent a few messages and he said, can you please kiss me? And it was just emoji blowing kisses. And I said, this guy is very different from the other Tinder guys that I have met so far. So this 1K, it was the money that hooked me into thinking more about him. Like at first, it was no strings attached. We met for coffee that same weekend, and he was a humble guy. He was hardworking, and I liked him because when he came to see me, when we met at the mall, he was just in his work suits, and he told me that he had just gotten from under a vehicle. And I said, oh wow, so you did not even get the chance to prepare yourself for me? I'm not that special. He said, you are special. I have something nice for you. And then we went. He withdrew money from the ATM and he gave me the money. He told me that he ran a small auto mechanic shop. As we spoke, that was when I opened up about my financial stress. Even though I was at Capitec, I was suffering with my own credit score that was really bad. One afternoon, he said that he wanted to see me because he wanted to bring me lunch. I said, okay, it's fine. He then brought me the lunch that he had bought for me. It was a takeaway, and then we started to talk. He then told me that he was under a lot of stress, and I said, what kind of stress are you in right now? And then that was when he told me that he had been using someone else's bank card, and this person, whenever they know that there is money in the card, then they ask for 2K, 3K, and some of this money he is supposed to use it for for buying like car parts that he needs to fix in the vehicles. And I said, okay, so what do you want me to do exactly? That was when he said to me, if you are willing, I can pay you and you can help me to open up a bank card. He explained his like papers, they cannot open a bank account at Capitec or any other bank, and he was struggling to get their papers to be legal in South Africa. And I said, I can't do that for you. And he said, yeah, I know, but if you are not using any bank like Standard, FNB, that you have not yet registered, please open an account for me. I was hesitant, but I said, this guy has been nice to me, he gives me money. By then we had not yet even slept with each other, and he was taking care of me. You know, I work in a bank, I know the rules. It is not something that you are supposed to be doing. But I said, anyway, let me just do it for this guy. He has been giving me money, he's a good guy, and someone else is taking advantage of him. So Brother Nashi, then what I did was that I went to another bank that I was not using that same time after lunch, before I had returned back to my workplace. Then I quickly opened up another account, and then I went to work. After work on that day, that was when we slept together. I was just in the mood because of the way that he had been helping me. I just felt like this guy, I trusted him. And then that was when he started to give me more money. And then we started to use the same account that I had used for a loan that I was still owing. And when he was using that same account, he said that he wanted to clear the debt that was in my name. He deposited enough money to settle my arrears, clear my name, and he was like, I don't want you to be worried about anything else. I just want you to be worried about falling pregnant for me. And I was like, Kaibo, so soon you want me to fall pregnant for you? We are not even yet married, and I don't want another child. Brother, I had not yet fallen in love with this guy. When I fell in love with him, I instantly wanted to have his baby. This was not like gold digging. I just wanted to have financial security in a world where he has to provide a nice life for me. So this guy is someone that is very gentle with me. He has never been rude to me. He always asks for my permission in each and everything that he wants to do. You know, sometimes when he is far away from home, he calls me, Mama, there is something that I need to do. Is it fine? Should I do it or should I not do it? This was something that had never happened in my life, and I said, this guy, I'm going to keep him. So our relationship, it became really serious, and I started to experience sleep patterns that were so irregular. I could go to bed with him, and after we would have made love, instead of me sleeping, usually after making love, I want to sleep. But with this guy, it was different. I was unable to sleep. I would be having dreams that I could not understand. Then I started to have a dream. I saw a snake that was beautiful, like a rainbow. It was multicolored. This snake, it would come to me. It would not bite me, but it would sleep close to my boyfriend, and it would sleep in between me and my boyfriend. In my dream, I'll start to see this snake waking up my boyfriend. It would sit up in a sitting position, and then it would wrap itself around his waist and start to play with his manhood until I would have seen semen that would be coming out. This was happening when I would be dreaming. So it was something that was like really weird to me. These dreams that I was having, they were quite weird. So as I kept on having these weird dreams, I eventually told him that these were the dreams that I was having, because there were times when I would wake up sweating, feeling so hot, unable to breathe properly. I finally broke down and I told him, I expected him to tell me that maybe it was just some weird dreams that I was having, or it was just some nightmares, because I loved to watch too many Nigerian movies. Instead, he said, okay, we're going to talk later on, Mamane, and after work we will talk. He took me out for a dinner date. We came back, and then he sat with me down and he said, I did not want to tell you yet, but since you are seeing him, you deserve to know the truth. I said, what do you mean when you say that I deserve to know the truth? That was when he told me that his family in Zim, they have like marine spirits. And now I know the name of the marine spirits in Shona. They call it Injuzum. And he explained it to me that in their family, they always worship the marine spirit, and he is not a ritualist who kills people, but his family for many generations going in the past, they have had a covenant with a marine spirit that stays in a mountain that is close to their village. And he said that there is a spring on top of that mountain. So inside that water spring, that is where this marine spirit stays. And then they had a covenant with that marine spirit. The snake that I saw, it is the manifestation of the spirit that guides the family and give them the gift to be loved by people, to be surrounded by people at all the times. He told me that this marine spirit, the snake, it's a she is the one who brings the luck and the customers to the shops at all the times. I was terrified. I am a Christian woman, or at least I thought I was, but I looked at my clear bank statements and my full fridge, and I stayed silent, and I said, okay, it's fine. If that is your culture, there is no problem. Brother Nashi, people hear marine spirits and they think of people hiding in caves doing blood rituals. But my husband is a man who wakes up 5 a.m. every day. He goes to his auto shop, gets under the cars, he gets grease. He is always working hard, even on weekends when I am even partying. My husband now, because we got married, he is always busy and he is always working home, and even when he is not at home. He explained to me that the spirits, they don't just give money, they call customers for him. He said, I still have to fix cars, but the marine spirit, she makes sure that when a car breaks down, maybe in Boxburg, the driver feel a sudden urge to come to my shop and no one else, and to help us to have like secure contracts that a company will come and say that you guys, you are the ones that are going to be servicing our cars on a monthly or whatever basis. So it is like, this is spiritual marketing. It does not market, but that marine spirits will make people to come to the business. I have watched his business grow. He has a respected workshop, and he has workers, white people and black South Africans as well. We are not super rich. We do not fly to Dubai every month. I don't wear 20,000 shoes. We are middle class. Last year in 2025, we finally bought our first house. It is a beautiful 4-bedroom in a quiet suburb. We drive your normal Ford Rangers, nothing fancy, just reliable. To the neighbors, we are just a hardworking Zim SA couple. We just work hard, but they don't know that we do have a snake that slip in between us. And by the way, I'm still at Capitec. There is no need for me to stop working, because me and my husband, we need to be a team to work together. We have a 3-year-old daughter now, and she is the light of my life, and I love her quite a lot. My husband tells me that everything is going to be okay when we are financially stable. According to him, I don't know what is financially stable according to Zim standards, but they said that when it is time, we will have to go to his village and my daughter is supposed to be cleansed in that same mountain, because all the girls that are born into the family, they have to be cleansed, to be bathed using that water from the spring. And the thing that I still do not understand about the Zim culture is that my husband is the one that is supposed to climb up the mountain with my daughter and bath her. Both of them, they are supposed to be naked when that is being done in front of the marine spirit. But he said that he hopes that we can be together when it is being done in the mountain. So this is my confession, brother. When you post, you will tell me. I will follow in the comment section. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Yo.